Is Pat Mahomes all you need? What's crack like? It's your boy Broshmo, just in case you did not know so. And before we get into the Chiefs season preview here, I just want to say thank you. Channel steadily growing. I'm loving it. If you're new here, go ahead, give me a subscribe if you enjoy the content, and a thumbs up. It helps the channel get discovered, so please help me with that. But Patrick Mahomes lit the NFL on fire last year. The man's a gunslinger. He is super accurate, and he's not working with the same team he was last year. He's missing some key pieces on offense. So will they be able to replicate that magic from last year again? Let's go ahead. Let's dive in. Let's talk offense first. Patrick Mahomes, you look like a bona fide stud, but he's now going to be without Tyreek Hill, his number one. So the ever so reliable Sammy Watkins steps in that position. I bet y'all are just like, yay. I wouldn't be. That's why y'all went ahead. Y'all traded up and got Mecole Hardman. I don't know how he's going to fit into this squad right now. That's why I went ahead, threw him in the slot. He's going to play a lot of special teams. But I think, yeah, that's good. You got a good quality pick right there. Demarcus Robinson. I think he's kind of already hit his ceiling. What you see is what you get. I think he is a good depth chart receiver. But as your number two, I mean, that you can't. I would want more. You got a guy who's having a really good non-voluntary workout right now. Byron Pringle. I was hesitant to put him here in the starting lineup right now. I just want to say I want to see preseason. Let's see where he's at there. But overall, I mean, you do have potential playmakers, and I mean, this is Patrick Mahomes throwing the ball. But they use a lot of different weapons in this offense. I mean, you got Travis Kelce, who might be the best tight end in the league right now since Gronk is now retired. But again, Gronk wasn't always on the field. You could always rely on Kelce. So you got that. He's obviously he's the number one target right now here in this offense. Damien Williams went bonkers at the end of the year last year. But I mean, the running back position, I would probably want a better running back there in town. You got Carlos Hyde sitting there in the wings. You also got Darwin Thompson, who's a rookie. So I don't know. I would want a better group there, but I don't think. I mean, running back isn't that valuable. Running back's not that valuable in the NFL so much anymore. It's a very devalued position with now it's a passing league. But there's still, you want quality players there at running back that can provide some pass blocking. They could be very versatile, and they could provide basically a threat in the receiving game. Damien Williams, he provided that. He was very good in the passing game. I'm just hesitant to say, will he replicate what he did last year in the playoffs? I'm hesitant to say that. I think y'all could probably get more talent there. But again, this is Patrick Mahomes. He makes the team better. This is why I say running backs play well in this offense. It's not running backs that makes the position here. It's Patrick Mahomes, Andy Reid, and this Chiefs team that make running backs look good. And I think that's what we're saying. We're seeing a average starter in Damien Williams playing and just looking amazing. But I think that's a position you can upgrade next offseason if you don't this season. The offensive line, again, we were talking about Tyreek Hill missing his number one wideout. Mitch Morose, he's gone. He's gone to Buffalo, I believe, and that leaves a big hole to fill in that offensive line. We've already got Eric Fisher, who's again, average if not pedestrian left tackle. Mitchell Schwartz, probably one of the better if not best right tackles in NFL right now. Cameron Irvin is a quality starter, and You also, I mean, you don't really have much depth behind these guys. They got Nick Allegretti, basically to be a, I mean, he's gonna be who's providing competition from the center position, but there's not much depth on that line. Duvernay Tardif, he's played very well. So I mean, the offensive line, it could be worse, right? I think this is a competent, especially that right side, a very competent offensive line. So let's go ahead. We know this team is gonna produce points. Let's go ahead and look at the defense, because the defense is in, I don't want to say disarray, but the defense is rebuilding itself. Now moving to that 4-3 defense, you got Chris Jones, who should have been a Pro Bowler last year. On that line, you got Frank Clark, who's going to be a nasty run stopper and provide a little bit in pass rush. Manuel Ogaba, he had some flashes in where did he come from? Cleveland. There we go. Whew, had it on the tip of my tongue. I just couldn't get it. But you also got Alex Okafor, who played very well in limited snaps for the Saints. But you got this nose tackle position, right? This guy who's going to be playing right over the center or over where the guards are at. That's going to allow Chris Jones to come in and just start walloping the quarterback. Now you got Derek Nadi from last season, who might come into that starting lineup. I think ideally Colin Saunders, guy I was very high on after the Senior Bowl and going into the draft. I just love, he's so athletic for his size. I think ideally he will be in that rotation, if not be the starter by the end of the year. Now linebacker, you got a lot of names, a lot of guys. Reggie Ragland, he played very well last year. He's played very well since coming from Buffalo. And then Anthony Hitchens, he's a reliable veteran, but past those guys, there's not much to speak of. You trade for Darren Lee, who is a good coverage linebacker. Goods pushing it. Last year was his best year graded out in coverage. So, I mean, there's a couple other guys, but you got Damon Wilson, but I mean, to be honest, this is a position that could probably be upgraded as well, because they spent a lot of time trying to upgrade the secondary, bringing in Kendall Fuller last year, one of the better slot receivers in the NFL. Tyree Matthew, stud. He played so good for Houston. I was surprised they didn't re-sign him. And then drafting my boy out of UVA, Juan Thornhill, who he just flies all over the place. I think that was a great pick. But you're starting cornerbacks. I'm worried about the outside here. With Breland, who was banged up last year. Couldn't really find a team last year, honestly. He's coming in as your number one. You got Ward, who's a unknown commodity. There's not much behind these guys, so secondary, especially the corner position, is somewhere that this team needs to get better at, needs upgrades at. With all that being said, how will the Chiefs do? Let's take a look at the schedule, because there's going to be some good games, some barn burners up here in KC, because you got the Ravens, Colts, Texans, games against the Packers, Vikings, Texans. Then you got the Chargers twice a year. Also games against the Bears and the Packers. There's going to be a lot of fun games to watch if you're a Kansas City fan. With that being said, I think this team can win this division. Especially, I mean, with the Chargers team that is loaded and ready to win a Super Bowl, I think this team should be able to compete. I think 12-4 might be the ceiling, because it is a very tough schedule. Should be I think, honestly, if this team were to take a step back, I mean, I think no less than 9 wins. But I think Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid I think they're too good for this team not to win 10 or more games. That's why I have y'all at 12-4. So, that being said, that's it for the video. But until next time, you be easy, my friends. Later.